A right prayer is to go and present the problem, trusting in Him the way He wants to solve it. Okay? Two more points into this, and then I'm going to shift to something else. Why do we need to present the problem? Since Jesus knows, or God knows. Because when I go to Sylvia and tell her, Sylvia, give me $1, it means what? What does it say about me and my relationship with Sylvia? So what does it say about Sylvia? What does it say? We're friends, and I trust her that she has $1 and she loves me and she's gonna give me the $1. And that's exactly the idea of presenting the problem to Jesus. Presenting the problem to Jesus is a way that you tell Him, Ya Rab, I trust you and I trust that you are able to solve the problem. As simple as that. اوعى تفتكر, never think that you are telling God the problem because He doesn't know. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows that you want to pass this biochem. He knows that you want to be healed from this sickness. He knows that you are hurt from a relationship. You know that you want to get married. He knows that you want to be accepted. He knows that you need friends. He knows all of this. He knows everything. Like when I come to Him and tell Him, I need friends. I need to be healed. I want to get married. Indirectly, I'm telling Him that I trust you, that you are able to solve my problem. The extra that we do, I want you to solve the problem this way, is our problem. Because when you tell God this way, and when God doesn't do it this way, you get upset at God, and why God didn't do this, and why God allowed this, and why God didn't let me, all this, whatever. And you start into blaming God. That's exactly Job's story. I don't want to get into Job's story. Like it's starting blaming God. Why? Because I had a problem. I presented the problem to Him, expecting Him to solve the problem the way I want. Shadi comes to me and tells me, Dad, I'm hungry. Okay? Does he have to come again and tell me I'm hungry? I told you I'm gonna play with your money.
I don't think you're gonna forget.
Yeah.
Shadi came to me and tell me I'm hungry. Shadi is my son, by the way, for people who don't know. My son comes to me and tell me I'm hungry. Okay? Does he need to come and tell me I'm hungry again in order for me to give him food?
Maybe you didn't give him food right away.
Maybe I didn't give him right away.
Yeah, he's hungry.
So I'm what? For him, I'm his father.
Yeah.
Supposedly I love him and I care about him. Supposedly. Okay? If I don't give him, what does it say about me? Fakir? Okay. Huh? I am broke. Okay. Huh? Busy. Okay.
You don't see it's important.
Huh?
You don't see it's important.
Maybe it's not important. Okay. I think if I'm the father, if I am Abba, if I'm daddy, and I love my son and care about him, and don't give him what he wants now, it means simply it's not the time. You don't need that now. Now Joshua, my grandson, cries every 2 hours to eat. If I give him food every 2 hours, he's gonna grow up fatso. I'm serious. And if I withdraw this from him, if I put him on a schedule, like every 4 hours now, you can stand for 4 hours, it's because that's your own good. نفسي نتعلم نفكر this way. We have to learn to think this way. That if I ask God, and God does not give me what I want now, it means that this is not what you need now. He is a father. He's not broke. He is not greedy, wala bakhil, wala whatever. He is not lazy. He's not. He's daddy. So he exactly wants the best for me. So if I ask him for this best, or for this thing, and he doesn't provide to me, it simply means, Samir, this is not what you need now.
This may be a stupid question, but what if you're asking for simply the strength to overcome an addiction or a sin that's in your life? Where does that lie?
Very good. What do you think? What if I'm asking, Ya Rab, I'm addicted to pornography and I wanna be released from this sin? What's gonna happen? Go ahead, ladies first. Stephanie and then.
Well, are you doing your part as well?
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Because what? Because when St. Mary asked Jesus or presented the problem to Jesus, she did something. ما هو خدوا بالكم يعني all this is either a play or we learn something from it. So when we see St. Mary going to the servants and tell them whatever he asks you to do it. يعني ما هو if Jesus tell them, she doesn't need to tell the servants this. If Jesus tell them go put water in these jars, they're gonna do that. But there is a lesson here that you have to do something. I'm gonna pick on this. That's about myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have to be proactive because if you do the same thing over and over, nothing's gonna change. Imagine if St. Mary, okay, she waited 10 minutes and nothing changed. She went back to Jesus and said they ran out of wine again. She does that for an hour. I mean, I don't know how Jesus would have reacted, but what would that have accomplished? Like, she actually was proactive and did something about it.
Very good. Excellent. So I think the 2 points are the same. That when you pray for something, you have to pray for this something. بيسموها in Arabic, and I'm going to translate that in English. وحدة القلب. يعني you are really from your own, from your all of your heart. The problem is that when we pray for something like this, part of my heart or part of me wants to stop the sin, like another part of me still wants to do the sin. And because I want to do the sin, I'm not preventing myself from the occasions that help me or that makes me do the sin. And the big example, I think we spoke about Proverbs 7 one time, or maybe in different. The guy went to prostitute house or around yani, an area like that, and he thinks that he's strong and he's gonna go there and he's not gonna sin. And that's when the Bible says that people who fall into sin are the strong people. In Proverbs 7, we read this beautiful story that I read it. And that shows exactly the point here. That if I'm praying for God to help me overcome a sin or strengthen me, yani there are two extremes. It's either stop doing what is wrong or getting close to Him. But sometimes, a lot of time I come and tell you, Ya Rab, I want to love you more. I want to get closer to you more. Like if that doesn't happen, why it doesn't happen? The alarm? The غالبا because of the weather. It's an alarm for this. Sorry. The two extremes, whether the example that Mina gave, which is I'm addicted to a sin and I want to stop it, or the other extreme, which is I want to get closer to you. In both situations, that's something that you have to do.
Sorry, it's a flash flood word.
Yeah. And if you want to get closer to God, you're not going to sit there حاطط رجل على رجل and you think that you're going to get closer to God. No, there is work that you have to do. That's what is called in Orthodoxy synergy or synergism. That I work with God. God's not going to do it by himself, although he can. Like he's not going to do it by himself. And that's the best example of St. Mary that she presented. هو كل التليفونات
not mine.
اشمعنى mine did not that. So Mary, when she went to present the problem to Jesus, she did not say, okay, khalas. No, she did her part. Although again, Jesus knew the problem, and Saint Mary didn't need to go and tell the servants what to do. She can just wait and stay and wait for Jesus to tell them what to do. Like if there is a synergism, there is something that I have to. If I wanna get married, I cannot go stay home 24/7 and think that I'm gonna meet Mr. or Mrs. Right by staying home 24/7. ربنا ينزلها لي كده من فوق. Here, Samir, this is the wife. This is the wife that you're gonna marry. There is something that you need to do. In all prayers, there is presenting the problem, there is trusting, there is synergy. In all prayers.
Is it wrong to not to suggest a means to fix the problem, but the way I would like the problem to be fixed, if it is according to Islam? Like, can I, like, same thing when Jesus said, if this cup can pass me, I mean,
I personally, and we had this debate, by the way, one time in one of the retreats, and it was a beautiful debate. I think there is nothing wrong in telling Jesus, oh, okay, so I like this girl, I want to marry this girl. I really don't think there is a problem. The problem comes when you insist on marrying this girl or this partner, although all your friends, all the people come, Habibi, she's not good for you. Habibti is not good for you. And you insist. So that's the prayer that you don't want or you don't need in your life. Insisting on a specific solution, this is number one problem in our prayers.
What happens when it's just for our survival?
Survival?
Like if people are praying because they don't get enough to eat, or if they're dying from the disease, I don't know if the same metric applies.
Very good. What do you think about people who are praying for food? Or can we separate these two? Because they're not the same. Someone who wants to eat to survive, and someone who wants to get healed to live, I don't think they're the same. Because God promised what? God promised that He's gonna give you whatever you need. And if you need food, God is, let me use this word, obliged. Because of His promise to give food for those who trust Him and believe in Him. And there is a beautiful verse in the Bible that says that مش عارف اطلعه. I think it's Psalm 37 بيقول كده, let me say it in Arabic and then I'm gonna paraphrase. يقول كده كنت فتى, I was young, كنت فتى وقد شيخت. I was young and now I'm old. Okay, كنت فتى وقد شيخت ولم أرى صديقا تخلي عنه ولا ذرية له تلتمس خبزا. يعني أنا كنت صغير وكبرت. During all this time frame, I did not see. During all this time frame, from being a child to being an elderly, I did not see the righteous forsaken. I did not see the righteous forsaken. If I need food, God is obliged to give me food based on His promise for those who love Him. Sickness, why sickness and disease is different? Because in your mindset, this is the problem, I have cancer and I want to be healed. Okay? Although God might not see that this is the best for you. And the best for you might be, I want to take you now.
What about the family members who might not see it that way right away?
Well, I don't know if God can, if these people are believers they're gonna see it this way. If the family are believers, they're gonna see it this way. I just saw it very recently with Alex. If the family is a believer, they're gonna see it this way, that he's in heaven, and if God allowed this to happen, this is for his best. Why is his best? I don't know. Like I know that he is a daddy, and if he's a daddy and I ask him for something and he doesn't give it to me, it's because of my own good. He is daddy. Huh? يعني think of this, guys. I don't know how many times Michael Ashamala have to go to Nancy and tell her, give me $100. If this $100 is gonna do good to Michael, she's gonna give it to him. You know what? You know what? She's gonna give it to him before he asks, because she's mom. Like if he's gonna take this $100 to go buy vodka, he can ask for this all his life, and she's not gonna give it to him because she loves him. We have we have to have this mentality, guys, that he is daddy. And daddy, we're supposed to talk about perseverance, which is لجاء. يزن، عارفين the word يزن؟ مايكل اديني $1، مايكل اديني $1، مايكل اديني $1. And we think when we do that, God هيعمل ايه؟ هيدي، لأنه هيزهق من الزن. He's gonna get bored from knocking at the door and asking many times, so he's gonna give it to me. And then you get it, and you realize that this was the worst thing for you. And actually, there is a beautiful story in the Bible, in the Old Testament. A unique story that happened only once in the whole Bible. Someone called Hezekiah. I wasn't planning to talk about this. He's a wonderful example of someone who insisted on what he wanted. Did anyone know the story? This guy, God told him it's time for you to go home. To die.
Oh, the one where he lives extra?
Yeah. So he told them, I want to live more kids. I want to live more kids. I want to cry. I want to live more kids. That's the only time in the whole Bible, that God changed what he wanted to do, or changed his mind, if I can say that. And he gave him 15 more years. And you know what? This 15 more years was the worst for him and all. He was a king and all his people. This prayer that was wrong affected him and affected all the nation after that. They got all exiled by people. I don't want to get into this story. And the moral here, the lesson here, is that please don't insist on the way you want your problem solved. 3 things that you need to do. Present the problem. Trust God in the problem. Trust the way he's going to solve it. Trust him when he says no. If he tells you no now, trust him that this is for your own good. He is daddy. Daddy is not going to withhold something right and good for me. And if daddy withholds something from me, it's because it's not good for me. So present the problem, trust his way and his time and synergy. If you can do something, I'm sure you can do it. In all situations, there is something that you can do. Whether negative, stopping sin, or whether positive, you want to get closer to God. You want to get closer to God? You have to be in church, you have to read the Bible, you have to do all the things that we heard about 100 times. Why we don't grow spiritually? As simple as because we don't do it. I'm not going to ask the question, when is the last time anyone here read the Bible? Because I don't want to embarrass you. You're not going to grow if you don't eat. As simple as that. Why we don't grow up spiritually? Because we don't eat spiritually. I want to continue. خدوا بالكم again. There is the point that I touched, but I didn't finish. The idea of yizin, the idea of insisting. Okay? The Bible speaks actually about what? لجاجة يعني ايه؟ Perseverance? What is perseverance?
Perseverance is not going beyond something you do. Getting.
Okay, yeah. أما اللجاجة يعني فرد في حاجة اسمها fervent.
Yeah.
What is fervent؟
Very hard.
ها؟
Very hard.
I think perseverance is the right word.
Perseverance is the right
Means-
word, right?
means kind of never
Yeah.
to quit.
Exactly. Perseverance in Michael, I need a dollar. Michael, I need a dollar. Michael, I need a dollar. Okay? If that's gonna, what this is gonna do to Michael? What do you think? يعني, what do you think? He got annoyed. Okay? Am I supposed to do that with God?
Yes.
Yes or no? George just said God, Michael is gonna get annoyed.
I think
But it's
you
different with
have
Jesus.
what you're
Why, so Jesus is not gonna get annoyed?
I heard something in.
Why do I need to do that, Enes? Auntie mommy, why do I have to come and beg you 100 times, mommy, give me $1?
I guess I heard it from the sermon for Abuna Dawood. He was saying that the topic is like about delayed response from God. So he was saying that if you have a problem, keep praying, and if the problem gets solved, don't stop give thanks. So the thing is that if you have a problem and you keep praying and God doesn't respond right away, He has another purpose for that.
So why pray? Why pray?
No, He has another purpose for that.
So-
Maybe He wants you to get closer to Him. That's why He doesn't want to solve the problem right away.
So and point B is very important. And when I keep persevering and asking Michael to give me $1, that's not gonna make Michael give me the dollar. Now we think that when I beg God, Ya Rabbi Mufadda, please, 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 I am hungry, I'm gonna die. But he knows that you are hungry and he is daddy. You are hungry and he is daddy. What he's gonna do? He's gonna feed you. Otherwise he's not gonna be daddy. Okay? Like why the Bible itself speaks about perseverance and asking more than once? Simply because when I do that, I keep in touch with him. فاكرين زمان in the last, I'm gonna give you a plug for that. Last year when we were doing Bible study in the park, one time we spoke about does prayer change things? Never think that when I persevere and azim, God is gonna change his mind. Because what he wants for you is the best. So if God changes his mind, it means that you're not gonna get the best. Like in the perseverance that the Bible speaks about, gets you closer to God, gets you humble, gets you closer to him, that you keep in touch with him, that you tell him that I trust you, I know that you're gonna solve the problem. Other than, hey Michael, give me $1, and then you go. Okay. Yeah, perseverance is a different story, but I didn't want to leave this point without getting these things together. I still have 10 minutes and I really want to continue to talk. So we said the way from the topic is how to solve the problem. Simply, number one, you present the topic. I'm hungry. Okay, you don't have to tell him I want sushi or I want fish or I want falafel. I'm hungry. Number two, you trust in him. That I know that you are daddy and you're going to give me the best. Again, the best can be very, very, very well, not what you want. Number three, synergism. If you are struggling with a sin, well, if these people are not helping me, I'm gonna stay away from these people. And I know people doing that. I know one person, and I'm gonna talk about him. I'm not gonna mention the name. I know this person. His phone was at the kidder, one of these big phones. So he decided that he's going to change this big phone into at the kidder because he was using the phone in the wrong way. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. That someone who is not only, Ya Rab, help me out from this sin. Help me out from this sin. Help me out from. There are hundreds of ways you can help yourself out of this sin. But you don't do anything. Because your heart is divided. Yeah, Abuna, give me the guilt that I'm sinning and I don't want to sin. Like deep inside of me, I love this. And I love this sin more than God. That's why you're not doing anything. There are hundreds of practical things. Go and read Proverbs 7, you're going to find out that there are hundreds of things that you can do practically to avoid this sin. And as much, there are hundreds of things that you can do practically to get closer to God. مش هينفع حبيبي مش هينفع you want to get closer to God and you're staying home حط رجل على رجل and think that the miracle is going to happen and all of a sudden you're going to get closer to God. Synergy. Present the problem, trust in Him, His way, His time, the way He's going to solve the problem, and synergy. I'm gonna that's basically what is John 2, which is the miracle of Cana of Galilee. A similar one, I'm gonna finish in the 10 minutes with this. There is a lot that we can learn from it. A similar way of solving the problem happened. Anybody knows? I'm gonna give you pizza if you tell me where else in the Bible the same way of presenting the problem was the way to solve the problem. Just presenting the problem. Huh? Who? New Testament. Huh? Yeah. New Testament. Someone who just came and presented the problem to Jesus without telling him anything.
The crowds were there and Thomas spoke.
The
Paul in jail.
Paul in jail.
Lazarus.
What did he say?
Paul in prison.
He said, Jesus, I'm in prison. That's cute.
Jesus, I'm in prison.
Jesus, I'm in prison. Huh? You said it right.
I said Lazarus.
Who said Lazarus?
We said it.
Lazarus. Lazarus, it's this story is really beautiful. I'm just, because of the sake of the time, I'm going to give you the ideas, and I really recommend that you go home and read this miracle again in the light that I'm going to speak about. So Lazarus is in John 11. Okay? Also, this is what happens. Now, so I'm reading from John 11. Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore the sister sent to him. You have to understand, Jesus was not in Bethany. Bethany is the place where Lazarus died. So he wasn't in Bethany, he was in somewhere else. Okay? So the sisters, who are the sisters? Mary and Martha. So therefore the sister sent to him saying, what did they say? The one that you love is what? Sick or alive? The one that you love is sick. How Jesus did not know that the one who loved is sick? He was actually, he was sick. بعد كده Jesus clearly said that he died. لكن هنا you see that Jesus didn't know that he's sick or he's dead. Did he know? Guys, did Jesus know that Lazarus was sick? Did he know? Of course he knew. Right? Like that's the same issue. They have no wine. The one that you love is sick. What do you expect Jesus to do? Huh? He should have run immediately and seen him because he loved him. So beautiful. The Bible tells you in verse 5 and 6, now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. عمل ايه? The Bible does not say that he ran immediately, or that he stayed. Some more days. What? Are you serious? I'm telling you, the one that you love is sick, and you are staying for 2 more days. Run! Rush! بسرعة! Now! Now! And that's exactly what we do. I have a problem. ايه ده؟ قالك شهر ما did not solve the problem. What's going on? And you get upset at God. Where is God? Why God is not involved in my life? Why? What?
بس هو بيعمل كده عشان
There is a reason. That's the whole point. That love and stay are not contradicting to each other. And we think that because I love, I have to give immediately what you want. لكن هو عمل حاجة تانية خالص. He did something completely different. He stayed 2 more days because of something much better. The question that was asked here, it makes perfect sense that a sick person needs to be healed. That's in my understanding. That's in my way of thinking. That the best thing for this person is to be healed. It might not be the best for this person. As simple as that. It might not be the best for this person. If it's the best for this person, he's gonna heal. Like it might not be the best for this person. Let's continue. So behold, the one that you love is sick. That's number 1, presenting the problem. Number 2, he loved Mary and Martha. Like he what? Stayed. He didn't run like what was there. Number 3. بعد كده يقول لك ايه الفيرس 14 and 15 يقول لك Lazarus he said it بقى يعني bluntly كده Lazarus is what? Dead. And immediately after that and I am glad. That بصوا الاوكسيمورونز الموجوده في الميراتل دي. It's amazing. Love and state. احنا in my opinion love يبقى you have to act now the way I want. Rush now the way I want. Go home or come home and leave. Like he said. Oxymoron number 2. Lazarus is dead and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there. Yes, we have to do something. It's better for you to be there and heal. You see how God's way is not necessarily our way, and the way God wants to deal with the problem might not be the same way as we want Him to deal with it. He is dead, and I'm here. Number 3. I'm going to skip number 3. Number 4. Or number 3, whatever. You will get that Jesus saw her weeping and he got trouble. Jesus saw her weeping and the Jews who came with her weeping. He groaned in the spirit and was troubled. Baka Yeshua, that's the verse that says Baka. After that, Baka Yeshua. What does this say? When I saw Sylvia weeping, I wept. What does this say about me? Sharing. Caring. There is one word that I love. Empathy. يا سلام. يعني compassion. And I love this word about the Lord. He's playing. He understands. Guys, when I am in a problem, he understands exactly how I feel. He knows. He knows. And believe me, he's going to solve the problem. But trust him in the way and the time he wants to solve the problem. He can stay 2 days, 1 week, a month. Like that doesn't change that he loved Lazarus, Martha, and Mary. He loved them. And although he loved them, he stayed. And when he saw them weeping, he wept. نفسي change our mentality about asking. Yeah, ask. Ask because he's dead. And he promised that he's going to provide. Just present the problem to him. Please, please, please. Don't insist on your way of solving the problem. If you present the problem to him, trust him, he's gonna do the best. And if you have to do something, do it. Don't ever forget that a delayed answer is not a denied answer. A delay means a delay. Why the delay? Because he loved. And if he loved and he delays, he still loves. So what you are asking this way and now is not what is good for you. A delayed answer is not a denied answer. Actually, a delayed answer is an answer in itself.
Even the response,
It's a pending.
even the response is more than we were thinking or we're asking.
Exactly.
Al-Qadr and
Right.
Al-Qadr.
Exactly. Don't ever also forget in this whole request thing, انه he empathize. He's hanging out. يا ده بس كده ياخدك في حضنه حبيبي don't worry. Even if I'm late, in your mind, that's the best thing. Apply this on everything, on all your prayers. Pray, you don't pray to let God know, because He knows. You don't pray to change God's will, because God's will is خايفة ليه؟ هي مش best ولا ايه؟ احنا يعني is it the best ولا it's not the best? God's will is the best, so you don't pray to change God's will. You are not praying to يا رب جوزني X وهو عايز يجوزني Y، أو جوزني X وهو مش عايزني يجوزني X. You don't pray إن ربنا جوزني اللي أنا عايزه، أو نجح، أو وديني الكلية اللي أنا عايزها، أو حللي. Let him do the best. The reason you pray is not to change His will. The reason to pray is to change you, to accept His will, and to show Him that you, what? Huh? Trust. Thank you. You pray not to change His will, because His way is the best way. Like when you present a problem and you pray, you tell Him, Ya Rab, change me so I can accept the delay. I can handle the delay. I can accept your will, even though it might not be my will. And at the same time, you do this as a way to tell Him, I believe in you and I trust you. And that's exactly what Sakleen did in this wonderful manner. Presenting the problem, they have no mind. Whatever He tells you, do it. Trust. Do something, synergism. He is compassionate. A late or a delayed prayer is not a denied prayer. He loved, like He stayed. Right.
However, someone who has nothing to do with it,
Okay.
and there's the problem.
And I think that goes to what you were saying. Abuna's point, I think, is very valid. Okay? All what I said is based on the loving relationship between the house of Lazarus, Mary and Martha, and Jesus Himself. What if I don't have this relationship? Thank you, Abuna. I think that's a wonderful question. What if I don't have this relationship?
Maybe that being in that problem that make me come close to that.
Okay?
And step by step, it's
Or me stay away more. Why is God? And that's exactly what we do. It's so amazing that people are very far away from God. And actually I'm living in a situation like this. People are very far away from God, and then when they ask something and doesn't happen, they come and what? Blame Him. Why is not involved in my life? Is He involved in your life before? يعني ده سويتش كده، افتح شغل الاي سي، افتح ولع النور، اطفي lights is up. God doesn't work this way. It doesn't work this way. God does not work this way. Very rarely. That's the exception. Abuna, you want to say something?
What the idea is that I think also something else that someone with a problem, far away from God, comes to God, problem is taken care of,
And
and he leaves.
exactly.
So it's not going to be happening all the time this way, because someday he's going to get himself into a trouble that cannot blame anyone but himself.
Exactly.
And though God will still yet be wanting to take him out of the trouble, but the person becomes so stubborn. He keeps going the opposite direction. So he gets himself into more trouble. Of course, if anyone would come to God, seriously, our problem is that sometimes we come to God, as we said, fix this, but not fix my life. Fix my problem, but not fix my life. So we don't want him to interfere in everything in our life. So we're going the wrong way in everything we're doing sometimes. But this trouble is putting me in the light. So I need to get out of this trouble. But I'm not going to change my way.
I just want to get out of the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm using him. And that's why we got into this blaming game of blaming God. طبعا كمان is absolutely right. God can use a troublesome situation for me to see it. It can happen. But in order for me to see it. Like it's just God is not gonna, for someone who has no relationship with him, he's not gonna be there as a switch on and off, solve your problem, and then you tell him bye-bye, and you expect him to do it again and again. That's not gonna work. And all the promises of God providing is for the righteous, for people who love him. If you don't love him, you cannot blame him. If you don't ask him to get involved in your life, you cannot blame him that he's not involved in your life. You never ask. That's why you need to ask. Any questions? Right.
He didn't leave.
Right.
So he was persistent.
Right.
So I'm sure that's aren't we supposed to like
That's exactly what we said in the perseverance. When we spoke about perseverance, the perseverance, God is going to see that you are trusting in him and he's going to give you what you want.
So what does that mean if you're asking for something that
What يعني Jacob persevered spiritually. Okay, so if I want to get closer to God, say that's the same thing as Jacob. If I want to get closer to God, I'm gonna keep begging him. I want to love you more. I want to get closer to you more. I want to have a stronger relationship with you. Provided that I'm doing my part. Provided يعني Jacob struggled. He did his part. The part that Jacob did is the struggling, is the perseverance. That's his part. Like you cannot ask God to take away this sin or get me closer to God if you are just sitting home and doing nothing. It's not that. And يعني هو he asked, Jesus told us, seek first the kingdom of God. Do you think if I see the kingdom of God first, he's not going to give it to me? Of course he will. That's exactly what he said actually in Matthew. Yeah, if I ask him something that is on his heart, he wants that. He wants every one of us to be closer to him. He wants that. He wants every one of us to be closer to him. So if I ask him that, he's not going to give it to me? Of course he will. Like you have to do your part.
Getting close to God is something that is going to be trouble free.
لا of course طبعا لا yeah we're talking here about asking something specific طبعا. Present the problem, trust. I'm going to just summarize the point that we spoke about. Present the problem, trust, do something, synergism, A delayed answer is not a denied answer. And number 5, he has compassion. That's what goes to love God. Any other questions? Any other questions? I hope this will change the way you're going to pray. Please, when you pray, don't insist on what you want. Because what you want might not be the best. We have